Guys, in this episode of the Mr. Maple Show, we're on location in the Bullington Garden Centers. We're going to be looking at some mature Japanese maples. Get excited. Wow, check this thing out.
This is a giant Acer palmatum dissectum. We don't have a tag on this plant, so we don't know the exact cultivar this could be. But this
massive specimen.
Massive plant, massive structure. I mean, if you get in here and look at the structure on this plant, it is spectacular. That's the thing I love about these large lace leaves, is that structure, the way they have that weeping pendulous habit. It really creates almost a bonsai-like shape to the plant itself, especially as these plants age.
It's really fun to see them this size. I mean, this is a 40 to 60-year-old specimen at least, and just really nice caliber on this thing and really cool structure.
I love old lace leaves. I can go out during the winter and even look at old lace leaves because their structure is just so spectacular. This is an old specimen, one of those legacy plants by Bob Bullington that was planted out here. And it's really one of those plants that adds a very regal appearance and a very majestic appearance here at the landscape and garden.
Guys, check out the structure on this old lace leaf. If that doesn't get your heart beating, I don't know what will. I'm seeing a ton of plants around this garden I want to go talk about. This one just captivated our attention right here as soon as we got into the garden. The light's hitting it, and wow, it is a beauty. Hey guys, check out this great use of this goshiki here in a container. It really brightens up the spot. It's getting a little bit of morning light here to peak up the colors, but it really looks awesome here in the container. There's a lot of fun plants in this courtyard. Let's kind of make a lap around, just talk about a few of them.
Looks like they got a whipcord down there too.
Yeah. There's an older Shishigashira right here. This one hadn't quite hit fall color yet. You know, lion's head's always one of our favorite plants. Hadn't quite peaked up yet, but pretty soon this one's gonna be blazing oranges with reds.
Love Shishigashira, classic one. This is one of the legacy plants by Bob Bullington.
Yeah, check out this bloodgood right here, guys. I mean, wow, this one's starting fall color, but it hadn't quite hit its peak color here yet. Amazing specimen here in the landscape. You can start seeing it getting a little bit more of its darker burgundy for the fall color, but it hadn't quite hit that blazing red yet. I mean, just the vibes you get off this older trunk here, amazing, really cool looking. You know, I was looking around this landscape, and one plant that really caught my eye is this Florida Sunshine over here. You know, we're here in Zone 6B, so we don't typically think of Florida Sunshine as a Zone 6 plant, but they said they're having great success with it here in this little microclimate tucked up against this brick building. I love Florida Sunshine for that splash of color it brings to the garden.
Yeah, I think it's pretty spectacular. Definitely one of those things that adds that yellow in the landscape, and you know how I love yellow. This one here is being tucked in to really brighten up against that brick background. Often people will try to put a darker plant close to a brick house. By putting something with that lighter color, that yellow color, it can really contrast and brighten up that whole part of the landscape.
There's a lot of little treasures here. We got to keep exploring. There's a lot of plants to find around every corner. Let's go check out this bald cypress. Guys, check out this specimen. This is a bald cypress called Falling Waters. Really cool plant.
Love this plant. You see it sometime in the nursery trade, it just says Falling Water. It is Falling Waters. Love this newer selection of this weeping bald cypress. It's a plant that is amazing because it just has that weeping habit you don't typically get with your typical taxodium. Taxodiums are a deciduous conifer, so they do drop all their leaves during the winter, but this thing's starting to go to some of that orange bronze. Bald cypress are really underrated for their fall color, In the fall, these can really give some really nice orange bronzes that really stand out in the landscape and garden.
Now this one's kind of unique. It gets its name from the Franklin Lloyd Wright home, Falling Waters, and that's where it gets that unique structure. Really cool plant though, and what an interesting way to be growing a bald cypress. Guys, you got to check this out. Behind us is a very mature Sengukaku in some amazing fall color. Now this is an older specimen, so the older bark is definitely more of that gray. It actually doesn't have a lot of red left in it. This is like a 50-year-old specimen of Sengukaku, but some amazing golden yellow fall color right now. It is really lighting up.
Sengukaku, the coral bark Japanese maple, is one of the most amazing fall color Japanese maples. That yellow contrasts so well with many of the other Japanese maples, but it's such a highlighter yellow. One of the things that I love about this plant. Now, Sengukaku also gets that red bark during the winter months. And you get that on this older tree just on the tinges, because most of that older growth has turned to more of that gray color. But this tree is a spectacular specimen and is one of the legacy plants here at the Bullington Gardens.
Guys, right beside this, it's not really in fall color yet, but we've got a Stewartia pseudocamellia with some amazing bark. Here in the next few weeks, that thing is going to be blazing red, giving some awesome contrast off those yellows of that Sengukaku. What a fun garden to be in.
Hey, check out this maple over here. It's showing some awesome fall color.
I think this one might be Amoryama, if I remember right. It's really starting to peak up.
I think this one's been in fall color for a little time right now. Typically, Amoryama goes from yellows to oranges, but if you get a fall color that holds for a longer period of time, you can often transition into these reds. And
you can see why we consider Acer palmatum Amoryama a semi-weeping tree. It has an upright habit, but it often spreads out and has a lot of branches drooping down. This one's kind of hitting some classic Amoryama fall color right now. It's actually been in fall color a little bit longer, probably because of all the shade providing some nice coolness for it early on.
You can definitely tell in this garden that Bob Bullington and J.C. Ralston were good friends, because literally from one spot you can see another Japanese maple from almost every spot in this garden. It's pretty spectacular, and this Amoryama has definitely got some really good size and some really good shape.
Hey guys, I know there's a Cypress and some great color over here. It's just peeking out over the top of this thunderhead. Let's go check it out. Good work, you.
Yeah.
Guys, check out this thunderhead. Beautiful specimen. Pinus thunbergii thunderhead here. Always an awesome heat tolerant specimen of pine. That's a great one for the south. Really beautiful specimen here of an older mature thunderhead. Kind of a little bit of a traditional style Japanese. You've got the mountain here in the conifer with the Japanese maple providing that fiery sunset behind it. And it's none other than Cypress providing that amazing fall color.
I love Pinus thunbergii thunderhead because this plant really is extremely salt tolerant. It's an amazing plant around the garden and landscape. And it's an easy plant to grow, and it pairs so well, can handle a lot more shade than some of the other pine trees.
Hey, forget about that. Let's look at this Cypress.
This plant is one of the best fall color Japanese maples, in my opinion. I love the Acer japonicums. Check out our Acer japonicum showcase we've done. I love these plants for what they provide, and you can see the fall color is just electric here. It's a little past. I mean, it's already dropped some leaves from fall color, but I mean, it's just electric yellows infused with reds.
This one is an always amazing tree for that fall color. You've heard us say it before, but it's the same plant as Aconita folium. We do believe that Cypress to be the original name on this one. Always an amazing plant when it lights up in that fall color. And wow, it's always fun to see a specimen of this size in the landscape. What a cool plant.
Got another large lace leaf right over here.
Yeah, let's go check that out.
Oh man, check out this Grisham.
Whew, that's nice. Hadn't really hit fall color yet, but you really get some of that great bark going on.
Check out the bark on this plant. The paper bark maple, Acer Grisham, has this exfoliating bark to it. Really gives some nice winter interest. It has a trifoliate style leaf, but typically this one goes to a bright red in the fall. You know, this one's not quite starting the fall color, but the good thing about the paper bark maple is this paper bark is here year round. Gives you some really good interest. And Matt's right over here. We've got this amazing dissectum.
Hey, I see your mature Acer Grisham, and I raise you another amazing older style Japanese maple. This is an Acer palmatum dissectum, another unlabeled one, but some amazing size on this one. It's soon to be an amazing fall color. You can see some of those oranges peeking through, so it may be a green during its spring color. I don't quite remember from the time I was here in the spring, but look at the size of this thing, guys. It is spectacular.
I see your Acer palmatum dissectum atroporum, and I raise you an Acer palmatum Osakazuki. This thing is not in fall color yet, but when this thing does, it will just be a fire engine red. Again, this is one of the best fall color Japanese maples. Hasn't really started, maybe some just up on the tips, but when this tree lights up in a few weeks, this one will be one of the highlights of the garden.
Hey, if you want to see Osakazuki in peak fall color, check out our video highlight on Osakazuki. We're at Dr. Criticos's garden in premium fall color, and you can see what this one looks like in its full splendor. Guys, we're here at the front of the therapy garden. There's some really cool plants as you get into here, from this chairman over here in a container.
A nice dwarf Enoki Cypress. Love this plant as a container plant. Fits in the landscape real well. Excellent evergreen in the springtime. Well, and as this plant's a young plant, this can really give you some nice blue color with some silver in there as well.
I love Japanese umbrella pine. We've got a really cool specimen over here of Piccola. It is a really nice one. We've offered this one several times here at MrMaple as well. As you can see, it makes a great specimen evergreen umbrella pine. Really nicely used here in this container garden too.
Yeah, I love the Japanese umbrella pines because they're just so unique and different. It's like a cartoon of what you think of a pine tree. Yeah. I think that's what attracts people to them. The key thing is with them is good drainage. In a container, you can make sure you ensure good drainage on your Japanese umbrella pines.
Okay, there's some cool things in here, guys. Let's get on through here.
So this is an amazing weeping elm. This is Ulmus lace parasol. Love this plant. It's a winged elm. It gets some wings on this here, but it also has that heavily weeping habit.
We've actually offered this one several times here at MrMaple as well. I love these for that lace bark habit they get. They get that exfoliating bark. Being a lace bark elm, it really gets that older, fissured look in the bark. It really adds a lot to this weeping habit. Kind of mimics what you think of with a Japanese maple and that low weeping umbrella, but in a little bit larger plant with some awesome bark interest. Let's check this out over here. There's a nice beech. I'm seeing this weeping beech we offer a few times. This one is Fagus sylvatica Purple Fountain. We've offered this one several times, but what's really taking the show right now is what's behind it. This larger ginkgo starting into fall color. I mean, here in the next few weeks, this thing's gonna be neon yellow.
Yeah, and this thing's just starting up. You're starting to see some neon spotches starting to come across the plant, and definitely about to light up this whole place with that bright, bright yellow.
Hey guys, check out the Skylands behind us. It's massive.
Skylands is one of those oriental spruces that just gives that bright, bright yellow color out there in the landscape. Really has a nice conical shape. And this is one of the older specimens. It's really not too far off from the size of the original Skylands that we saw at the Skylands estate in New Jersey.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this special walkthrough Wednesday where we toured the Bullington Gardens.
We love this place. It's got so many amazing plants and it's such a rich history here in Western North Carolina of horticulture and these amazing Japanese maples, many old specimens that Bob Bullington himself planted here at the gardens.
Yeah, Bob was trading with JC Ralston, talking about Japanese maples, but also our dad was over here learning to graft, talking to these guys, really influential in some of the things that helped start Nichols Nursery, what later became Mr. Maple, started right here on these grounds as Dad learned and grew his passion for horticulture. We hope you enjoyed this tour with us today on Walkthrough Wednesday. Please like, subscribe, and share. It's one small click for you, but it means a lot for us on our channel. We greatly appreciate that.
And we know that many of y'all watch our videos every single time they come out, but not everybody's subscribed. Please subscribe. That definitely helps us out quite a bunch. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed this walkthrough of these amazing gardens with these really old specimens of Japanese maples and other cool plants.
Take care
God bless.
and have a great day.